every last drop. If she wants to survive in this social circle, she better learn to fall in line.
This season, I'm coming for everything. I want it all.
But we are back in the building. Yes, we got to talk Love and Marriage DC Season 2, Episode 8. Now, things are really starting to get interesting. I like it when I'm watching the show and I cannot really tell where it's going, right? I'm literally watching this show and I'm just kind of watching every week to see, like, okay, what is happening? Because I've kind of put the trailer a little bit out of my mind, but it's still in the back of my mind. Y'all kind of know, you get what I'm saying? So I kind of have felt like, there was definitely a lot of action-packed stuff that we had to look forward to in the next 2 episodes, I believe. Okay. But I think we're reaching the tipping point of how some friendships are going to dissolve. Okay. So I don't know. I'm actually pre-recording this video because I have to travel. Okay. But unless there was a scheduling conflict, you guys will have seen the review that we did with Carlos King on Carlos King's channel. So be sure to go and watch that. I am recording my reaction before I film that with Carlos because I feel like he's going to be able to answer some questions that I may have. And I want to give you guys my fresh, just watched it reaction. Okay, so that's what we're getting in this video. So let's start off how we always do. We're going to rate the episode on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm gonna actually rate this episode. I'm gonna rate it at 8.5, right? Maybe an 8.5, 8.8, 8.9, somewhere around about there, right? And I wish, based on our conversation with Jamie Tyler, that you would have already seen that we got a small continuation from last week's argumentation with Orena, okay, at the wig launch event. So that's something that I wish we could have seen. Also in this episode, there is a huge reference to a Thanksgiving or Friendsgiving that's obviously held, I think, at Ashley and Quick's place. But during that conversation, during that event, it appears as though it wasn't filmed, or maybe it was. I don't know. But I love this, and I don't like it. I wish we could have seen that event because there was a lot that apparently happened and a lot that was discussed that is leading into everything that we are going to be talking about. Well, a lot of what we're going to be talking about from this point forward and moving on, right? So I wish we could have seen that. But I will tell you, some of the best seasons of reality TV have contained an off-camera moment that really kicks things off, okay? Let me give you guys an example. For a lot of you guys that watch my channel, you are familiar with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. If you go back to season 1 of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, there is an inciting incident. An inciting incident is basically something that, ignites the fire, all right? And so that incident on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was Kyle asking Camille what she was going to be doing over the break. And Camille says, well, she was going to Hawaii with the kids. And there was and I don't know if there was something that was said that Camille maybe misinterpreted. And that set off a beef that lasted all season and got kind of nasty. So this is one of those types of instances where we have something that happens off camera that really, again, jumpstarts things that we're seeing on camera. I love those instances because we, the audience, are really left to trust what the people on the camera are telling us. So there is an air of mystery about it, but it's kind of also like, I wish I could have seen it. You know what I'm saying? But these are the breaks when it comes to reality TV, because there are not cameras running 24/7. So you just have to get what you can and follow up on it. So now that I've given you all of that, let's go ahead and get into the episode. We start this episode off with Ashley basically coming home. She's tired. She's stressed. Quick is in the hospital. There is something going on with his throat. It sounds like he has some sort of thing where he has the hiccups continuously. Baby, let me tell you something. That would just annoy me to no end. They would have to knock me out. I get so annoyed when I get the hiccups in general. I would be like, y'all gonna have to knock me out. I don't care. You're gonna have to leave me out for however long y'all can stop this hiccuping in my stomach. Y'all need to figure this thing out, because I cannot be awake during all of this, because it would drive me up the wall. Okay, it sounds like torture to me. But basically, they need for him to take a break, but he don't want to take a break. So let's talk about that for a second, because I feel like I suffer from something very similar, right? Let me tell you what drives me. And I'm going to give you guys a lot of information that you probably didn't really need, but I feel like it's important because nobody talks about this. So for me, I work really, really hard. And if you've seen my personal channel, Richie in Real Life, you will know that I went through a lot of trauma financially and personally when I was living in LA. Now, I made it work. Best believe, I survived. I should do a video series called Surviving Los Angeles or Surviving Hollywood. I think I'm going to do that. But in the meantime, I feel like in the present day, I work so hard because there's a little bit of PTSD that goes into me working so hard, because I'm thinking to myself, I can never be in that financial place ever again. I can never be broke like that ever again. And I hate to even use the word broke, right? Because I always believe you should say something like, temporarily, with low funds. You know what I'm saying? Because broke, that has a heavy weight to it. You know what I'm saying? Broken. No, that don't describe me. But at the end of the day, that's how I felt, right? So there's a lot that sometimes drives a lot of us, some type of past trauma. And I feel like maybe they need to get to the root of whatever that is driving him, because it is actually making him, you can't focus on, it almost makes you feel like, when I look at it, can you really be whole if you're not getting the appropriate rest that you need to get? And as you can see, when you don't, you end up getting stuff like the permanent hiccups. You know what I'm saying? So, Quick, you're going to have to handle that, because ultimately, I don't know if this is the case for him, but I can tell you that it is the case for me. And I look at this as a warning, and y'all know it. Y'all see it. I be like, the videos be like, boom, 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 boom. I mean, there's a part of it that you love what you do, right? But there's also a toll that it takes, even though what you do doesn't feel like work, right? So there's a little bit of life lesson in there, I think, and I feel like he needs to learn that, but so do I, right? So anyway, I should probably talk to a therapist about that. I have an appointment scheduled. It's coming up. Okay. So don't worry about me. Don't cry for me, Argentina. So let's get into it further. So Jamie and Arena, they head to the SEX shop. Okay. Looking for dildos. Every time I hear that word, I think about Nene. If I don't want a dildo, I don't have to look at a dildo, so I think about that every time I hear that word. Anyway, interestingly enough, the owner tells Arena to discover, for herself what works for her in the intimate moments. And it was interesting to her because it was interesting to me because Arena had said something to the effect that she didn't really know what pleasurized her. And I was like, girl, you have got to know what pleasurizes yourself, because even if you're not getting pleasurized by your man, you should at least know what pleasurizes you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I would encourage everybody to, do a little touch around down there and things like that. Get to know yourself. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of times men don't really have that same problem, but that's a generalization, and I probably shouldn't say it, but I just said it. So there we are. Here we are. I blame Arena. So anyway, they get into him blowing up at her from the last episode, which we didn't get to see the continuation of, which I'm really mad about. Anyway, he apologizes for talking to her crazy, but he does say, as he did in our interview, that, they're missing money because they are technically filming this show, right? So filming this show, it takes a lot. I'm telling you, filming any reality show, it takes up a lot of your time. I don't know how Candy be doing it, filming back-to-back shows. Like, when does she have time to breathe, sleep, and eat? That's what I want to know. But, if anybody can make it happen, Candy Burris can. And apparently, Jamie and Arena having to make it work, too. But they're missing out on them coins from making all these reels, right? I highly encourage you to go and watch that interview with Jamie if you haven't already done so, because it is very informative with regards to the reels and the shorts and stuff like that. And listen, I'm going to tell y'all like this. If you are not making content with your cell phone and learning how to make a coin from it, holla at your boy. Shoot me an email, okay? I will work with you, okay? I will work with you because you definitely need to be doing it. Everybody else is. So anyway, he feels like, he apologizes for talking to her crazy, but she feels like, he knew he was wrong. And she asked, were you jealous? Because that was her moment. And she felt like he was making it about her. And he's like, if your wig line fails, then I fail and we fail together. So no, I didn't want to make that moment about me. And don't you ever call me jealous ever again. Okay? But we not done with them yet. So hold on tight. We finally, I don't know why it has taken us 8 episodes to finally see Winter in her home with her cheering, or at least one of them. I mean, I feel like she upped it to main cast, but then it was like y'all upped to the main cast only to sideline her for most of the action. And I'm just like, no. Give me more, give me more. Okay. I'm interested. I want to see what's going on with Winter outside of just the shenanigans of the people not getting along with her, because I feel like there's more to her than that. So I'm actually really happy to see this, at least this scene right here. And she's talking to her oldest daughter, who is also dating a Kevin, not to be confused with Winter's old Kevin. And this Kevin is somebody that her daughter actually wants to marry and has been thinking about baby names with. And Winter is like, now, hold up now. Slow your roll. You are only 21, gal. You need to slow it on down. Bring it on down. We also learned that Winter is going to be doing a double date with Yusha, the man she met in the previous week's episode at Sherelle and Black's Friends Who Smash the Podcast. So we also learned that she's starting a candle line. That was thrown in there as well. So the Tylers meet up with the Silvas for brunch, my favorite activity, or used to be my favorite activity when I drank more. Anyway, apparently whatever caused Quick to have the hiccups incessantly, it's been affecting his mood. And I'm assuming he's a little bit better because he's not hiccuping right now. So there we have it. He's doing better, but he still ain't taking no time off. So, I mean, you know what? You can DJ with your mouth closed. You know what I'm saying? I have DJ sets where I just didn't say nothing. But sometimes they want you to be hype on the mic and stuff like that. So you just never know what you're going to walk into in certain situations. So, it could be a thing where, this could impact his pay. So anyway, everybody advises him to slow down, and they talk about the wig launch. And Quick, straight out the gate, asked Jamie if he was on the bottle. Now, again, this was also something that we brought up in our interview with Jamie Tyler. So please go back and watch it. He does address this. Now, Quick in his confessional feels like it's becoming a pattern, and it might be something else going on. I was like, ooh, like what? And so they fill Quick in on the blow up at the wig launch between Jamie and Arena. And Quick tells him that he becomes quite a different person when he drinks and he becomes angry. So Jamie says, well, I know that already. And he feels like, well, I'm not fighting anybody. I mean, let's look back at that first episode, which we almost came into a fight. But was that as a result of drinking? No, I don't think so. He basically says at that point, they were just frustrated with each other. So that's why they got to that point. So anyway, Jamie in his confessional says that he does not have a drinking problem. So Ashley asks if Jamie told Arena that she was a nobody. So there is something that he said that was kind of, I think he said, I knew you when you were nobody, after Arena asked him if he was jealous of her success at her wig launch. And so I guess that Arena told Ashley that. So now it's coming back up. Quick says, well, you also called Lil Jamie a bum. So let's keep score. You have called your wife a nobody, allegedly, and you called your son a bum. So he says, Jamie says, well, I did say I was sorry, but ain't nobody really buying his apologies. Meanwhile, it's Christmas time in the city. Now, to me, this scene could have used a bit more details, okay? This is where we get to the point of the show that I told you that there was an inciting incident that we did not see that happened either off camera or they just haven't shown it to us yet, in which we are left to hear about what happened. Now, I tell you guys all the time in reality TV, I like this idea of it really does come down to show and tell. You can tell me that somebody said something, or you can show me that they said it, right? Showing me that they said it or did it, I feel like is always more impactful, unless, like in this situation, you specifically want me as an audience member, as a viewing audience, to have to choose who I believe. That impacts the storytelling from the viewer perspective. So we hear it first from Ashley, so we are left to believe whatever Ashley tells us because she is the first that we heard it, right? So you got to always look at these things when you watch reality television, because the producers could sometimes be leading us down a path, right? Which is, again, part of the storytelling, or we are meant to try to see through to who is saying what, all right? This is the great conundrum of reality TV, but it also is what makes it fascinating, because similar to real life, oftentimes we are told things and you have to really determine whether or not you want to believe it or not. So I don't know. So let's get into it, though. Let's get into it. I don't want to waste no more time with it. So Ashley's Christmas shopping with Alicia. They're preparing for her holiday party, right? So they segue from sparse Christmas trees to apparently the sparse decorations at Arena's wig launch, wherein the photos of all the models were hung up with masking tape or packing tape that you can get from the UPS, okay? And she wishes that Arena would have enlisted her services to help her, because then there would have been more fabulosity, according to Ashley. Now, I'm paraphrasing because she didn't use those words, but I'm just giving you a paraphrasing, not to be confused with Shady, because that took us down a whole dark and dangerous path a few episodes back, right? So they get into, Jamie not being supportive of the wig launch. And then we find out that Joi is not coming to Ashley's Christmas party because Sherelle is coming and Ashley is annoyed. So here is the story. There was a Friendsgiving. Everybody was invited except for Winter and Sherelle, of course. Of course, not Winter, but Sherelle wasn't invited. And you guys know that Ashley and Sherelle are friends who go way back. But I'm assuming that maybe Sherelle wasn't invited because of Joi. But for whatever the case, apparently when it came down time to talk about going to the holiday party, Joi communicated to Alicia that she felt like there might have been some fakerization going on, because she didn't understand how Ashley and Alicia could be cool with Sherelle because Sherelle is cool with Winter. I mean, I thought we all just walked down that path together, right? we walked down the path of Ashley and Winter coming to a consensus to at least be cool with one another. We saw Winter hand everybody invitations to the Romancipation event. And so they left in the spirit of we'll be cool for the sake of being cool and supporting each other and hanging out within the friendship circle of that is this show. Correct? Is that not what I saw? Because if it is not, then tell me in the comment section down below, right? So is it fake to get along to get along? I don't think so. I think there is such a thing as being cordial. You don't have to like people or be their best friends, but I always heard the phrase, it's not going to hurt you or it's not going to do anything to you to say hello. A hello is free, right? So, but if they are all talking about Sherelle behind her back, in my opinion, that is where it would be fake and phony, right? So, Ashley and Alicia are like, well, we've known Sherelle longer. Why would we not invite her? But we want to get to know Joi. So then Alicia goes in on how Clifton and Joi got together. And I don't know if she's making a reference towards Clifton dating someone else first. I thought she was kind of like throwing a jab at Clifton, Joi, and Carmen's friendship, but I can't be sure because in the last episode, we did learn that apparently Carmen was Clifton's number one before she was. I don't really remember. There was something like that that was said in the last episode. So maybe that's what Alicia was kind of like getting at when she said what she said. So they want to know, okay, well, Alicia wants to know, well, they all out hashtagging the Tylers and the Pettys like they already married or something. And so at that point, Ashley looks like she's trying to keep it together. And she says maybe they are married for real. Alicia says, well, are they married? Ashley says, yeah, they are married. So you mean to tell me for these past 8 episodes, we've been hyping up a marriage that's already happening? What in the Yandy and the Mendici is going on here? Okay? What in the Robin and the Juan is happening here? Help me, Father. So is that what, I mean, what's the tea? Because I would rather know, okay, y'all married already. Y'all done went, go into the chapel and they already married. Is that the case? Or is y'all already married? Because y'all could have told us that and just said, y'all trying to decide on a wedding or something like that. Tell me, okay? Because I'm not going to, listen, I mean, why not tell us? You're newlyweds. Okay, did you go down to Mexico and get married? What's tea? What's going on? Somebody let me know. So anyway, Alicia also too is like, well, why are they pretending? Ashley says, well, maybe they wanted a big to-do, and apparently she is going to have to go dress shopping with Joi and Arena, and that's a good thing because hopefully she can help Joi find a look. Those are her words, not mine. Now, I do feel like Joi kind of gives me round-away girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm going to throw on my hoodie and my sweats type of gal. You know what I'm saying? She ain't like the glamazon that we would say somebody like Arena is. But even Arena knows how to like tone it down when it's time to go work out and get it in. But, you know, you best believe when Arena and Ashley step out, they looking like they going to the place where they going. You know what I'm saying? We talked about that with Joi when she showed up to Ashley's event at the bartending place, but she had on her sneakers because she said she might have to run Rudolph and head on up out of there should somebody or something get to popping off, right? But, you know, Joi, you are on the television, okay? It's 9 times out of 10, you're not going to have to become she's a runner, she's a track star, because 9 times out of 10, ain't no fighting going to happen, right? So you don't have to run for your life. All right. So Winter, and not to mention that Ashley said she's going to help her find a look. Woo. Anyway, but that's so crazy to me because Joi looks great in her confessional. So I'm like, why don't you bring that same energy to the scene? She's a beautiful girl. She's a beautiful woman. Beautiful. But if you round away, then and that's your style aesthetic, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm around away most of the time anyway, until I got to go do something on TV, but then it's appropriate, because I'm going to get dressed up because I'm about to be on the television, right? Even when I'm talking to y'all, I try to look presentable, but sometimes I'm just round away. Ain't nothing wrong with it. And I don't want y'all to get it confused. Ain't nothing wrong with being around the way. Okay? Nothing wrong with being around the way. If that's your aesthetic, that's your aesthetic. But my thought is be around the way when it's time to be around the way. But when it's time to, pump it up, let's pump it up. Okay? Now, Winter and Yusha are going to go on a double date with Sherelle and Black. Now, this should also be called Sherelle and Black's double date sessions or something to that effect, because they treated this double date like it was a podcast episode and they was giving narration. Really, it was Sherelle. Because, baby, she wanted to know every little thing. Everything. What y'all, how y'all feeling about each other right now? Girl, do not ask me this while I'm on the first date with this man, okay? If that's what I would have been like if I was Winter. Girl, do not ask me these questions. Text me what I'm thinking right now. But in the interest of moving the storyline on, I do appreciate the fact that Sherelle was like, okay, we don't have time to waste. Okay, what's going on? What's your intentions? Who's zooming who getting home with who, and how y'all doing it? Okay, tell me what positions. All right, I feel like it was going there. But if Sherelle, she just gonna ask whatever she want to ask. Okay, and you just gotta let her go. Now, Yusha, for his part, he seems very cool, very chill, and very intense. And then when I say intense, like he's focused, I feel like he's focused on Winter, which when you are, or at least when you see your friend on a date, you want to see somebody with your friend that looks at your friend like, I'm interested. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. All right. So Joi has invited Arena and Ashley to the cycling class. Now, Ashley's going to show up despite the fact that Joi ain't trying to show up to her Christmas party because Sherelle coming. Which, by the way, I don't even understand I thought that Joi and Sherelle ended on a halfway decent note. They was just at the Ponderosa for Ashley just a few last week or two, So if your issue is with Black, what's your issue with Sherelle? She wasn't even around at that point in time when the issue started. So it's like you punishing her for something that her husband did, allegedly, that you are still hanging on to, that I don't know why. Okay. Tell me what it is. Is it that you want the band to be back together, or you missed that and you want the band back together? I don't know. Or is it just the fact that he was allegedly, according to Joi, messing around with somebody on the friend? But for which that even still to me to this day is just like, I mean, was that your sister? I mean, I don't know. I just need more information, and I feel like we're not getting it. I like Joi for this purpose on the show because Joi is an interesting enigma to me, and I think somewhat to the cast, because I do feel like she probably marches to the beat of her own drum, and it's interesting the dynamic that she brings to the show, because I do feel like it creates, her personality creates natural tension with some of the other personalities on the show, which is what you want in a television show, right? So they spin and do their stretching and stuff like that. And, they get into this topic about, Joi not making it to Arena's event because she was sick, and, whether or not Arena would have told her that Sherelle was coming because Arena wanted to make things cool with Sherelle. And Joi says, well, I wouldn't go to Sherelle's event, but I would come to your event. And Ashley's like, hold up now. You said you weren't going to come to my event because Sherelle was going to be there. So what's tea with that? All right. Joi says, well, I'm assuming that your Christmas party is going to be like a nice little intimate event or whatever. And Ashley's like, I got a 4-story house and you was at my cookout and the two of y'all were there together and you never even saw her. So what's up? So Joi says, well, she's the type of person who may or may not come, but still didn't say she might not come, but still show up. That would annoy me. Anyway, Ashley basically says, okay, Quick was in the hospital. Even on the day of Verena's event, when Quick was at the hospital, she was still at Arena's event to support her, okay? And she tells them that in the planning for the Christmas party, she told Alicia to invite Carmen, which is Joi and Clifton's friend. And apparently Joi told Carmen, Carmen conveyed that Joi told her that she needed a break. Okay, so Ashley's like, a break from who? Us? And then apparently, Alicia said that Joi called them fake and phony, which I don't know if she said it in that event, but she definitely said something to that effect in the scene that we saw her with Carmen. Okay. And that she does not she rocks with the Tylers, but it's almost like she doesn't rock with the Silvas. This is what Ashley has been getting on the receiving end. So Joi says, well, you call Sherelle an associate, but this person, she's always around. So how is she an associate, but how is she just an associate, but always around, right? She says it's uncomfortable for her. And Ashley says, well, that's the equivalent of me inviting Winter to things because of Sherelle. She knows that Sherelle is friends with Winter and she does so to be polite. And Winter does not dictate where she goes. So if Sherelle is having an event, she's not gonna not go to Sherelle's event because Winter is there. So Ashley wants to know why she called them fake and phony. Joi says, by the way, who would rather be any place else right now, okay? Even back in Mexico with the Montezuma's revenge, all right? She basically says, I didn't say that. I said, I ride with both of y'all. I just don't F with Sherelle and her husband. So Arena backs her up and says she did say that. She did not say she did not call them fake or phony. And she also says that she did say she rode for the Tylers and the Silvas. So Ashley conveys how hurtful the whole situation felt to her because she'd been trying to really build a friendship with Joi. And she's put Joi in her personal space, which she does not do very often with people that she's sort of just met. So things seem like they're okay until Ashley's like, well, because I was upset, I was kind of a little petty. And Joi is like, well, petty's about to be my last name. I mean, ain't it already your last name? Okay. So Ashley reveals, well, Alicia asked if you guys were already married, ... And then the next thing we know, we flash to the producer who says, are you married? And then it's to be continued. Is you or ain't you married? That is the question. Is you or ain't you married? I guess we gotta wait to find out next week. That's all I got for y'all.
So, Desiree Davenport, what are you hoping to accomplish with this show?
Honestly, I've lost everything in the most horrible way possible. And listen, I want it all back. I'm willing to build it piece by piece, and I mean brick by brick.
Oh, honey, she is done. I bet you a Birkin she doesn't last all season with us. Just watch.
I'm Misha Hill, and I'd like to consider myself the matriarch of this dynamic group of ladies. I mean, someone has to keep them under control.
I'm Davita Delaney.
I mean, I think I could teach these ladies a thing or two about how to get and keep a good man.
They said she was a gold digger. She ain't hear that from me.
I'm just really looking forward to being surrounded by other empowering bosses.
Yes, I know exactly what she's doing. And if she keep playing in my face, I'm gonna have to let her all her dirty little secrets just like she did to me. And I'm not playing.
Let's get this straight. If I brought you into this circle, I just as easily can take you out.
She ain't running nothing over here, okay? She needs to be worried about running that household and worried about why that husband of hers is never at home.
Oh, hell.
Ooh, child, this is about to be a mess.
Oh my God, I hate mess. What in the world did I get myself into?